But one thing I've always said was that it was out of fear that our people started moving. Because they said alien compliance order, if you don't have a resident permit.
So this is how the Ghana government in 1969 treated Nigerians. I want us to watch these videos of these Nigerians saying what exactly happened in 1969. Then after, we will watch how the Nigerian government also treated Ghanaians in 1983. Let's go into the video, watch, come back and talk.
By the time of the aliens compliance order, I was actually in Kumasi. And what I remember was that, when the compliance order was given by the Bushia government, everybody was saying that they say Nigerians should leave. They say Nigerians should leave. So everybody was running helter-skelter. People were selling their properties, buildings, and running to Nigeria. I was then a student. I think I was in my first year or second year at Legon. So we used to come to where we were around 37 area as people were moving, heading towards the border of Aflao to continue their journey to. But one thing I've always said was that it was out of fear that our people started moving. Because they said alien compliance order, if you don't have a resident permit, go for one, regularize your stay. But our people didn't understand. They didn't know how to go about all these things. And the fear that something might happen for so many of our people to leave unceremoniously.
I will recall this thing when Busia came. It happened during the Ramadan. We started the fasting, about 10 or so, and said, this is Radio Ghana. Since that time, I've memorized the thing and it's my head. Say Ghana Munti, those days is Ghana Munti, Ghana Munti. Then say, this is Radio Ghana. The time is 6 o'clock. That was what was reading that day. The wording was that it has come to the notice of Ghana government. It has come to the notice of Ghana government that a lot of aliens are living in the country without the requisite papers. So the government is hereby giving all those people 2 weeks to regularize their papers, their documents, else they have to leave the country. That is the wording. They didn't say pick your bag and tomorrow go.
So this is how the Ghana government treated Nigerians during the 1969 exodus of Nigerians from Ghana to Nigeria. Okay, now let's go to the Ghana one, how Ghanaians were treated in 1983.
It's late January 1983, and in Nigeria, the President Shehu Shagari has suddenly announced that all foreigners without the right paperwork have just weeks to leave the country. Almost all are West African, the majority are Ghanaian.
If they don't leave, they should be arrested and tried and sent back to their homes. Illegal immigrants, in fact, under normal circumstances, should not be given any notice whatsoever. If you break a law, then you have to pay for it.
In Lagos, a Ghanaian, Charles Ekwotu, is working as an assistant sales manager for a chemical firm, but technically he is an illegal immigrant.
Someone told me there was a deadline that minister will hand over every power to every civilian, that every civilian can do anything to any alien in the country.
And it was that threat, any Nigerian citizen can take action against.
Oh yes, when the deadline expires, you will be giving the power to every Nigerian, every citizen. You have nowhere to hide in Nigeria because wherever you are staying with a Nigerian. So that made everyone scared.
Across Nigeria, up to 2 million migrants heeded the warnings. They packed what they could into trucks, cars, pickups and taxis and tried to get out of the country. The main route home to Ghana was west through the tiny neighbouring states of Benin and Togo. Charles and his friends hired a car and headed to the border. It was only when they left Lagos they realised the scale of the exodus.
So when we hit the main road, there we could see the seriousness of the whole thing. Trucks loaded with items and people, thousands of vehicles. And the people, is uncountable. Thousands and thousands of people, millions.
A BBC correspondent followed the refugees.
With more than 2 million illegal immigrants ordered to get out of Nigeria, the resulting chaos is staggering. Hundreds of thousands have now massed at Nigeria's frontier with the tiny West African state of Benin.
When we were about to reach Benin, that's the worst situation. I could say about 2 kilometers to the border. People have been camping here, both sides of the street or the road. Some having no water, some are in good mood, others are even... And some have stayed there so long that they have run out of money.
Many families are stranded. Overladen lorries, cars or taxis have brought them this far. But now they camp out in the hope of being able to complete their journeys home. Among the exiles are at least 1 million Ghanaians.
The majority of the Ghanaian migrants were drawn to Nigeria during the oil boom of the 70s. But by 1983, the Nigerian economy was suffering, and it was an election year. Nigerian politicians hoped the expulsion would prove popular. Those with longer memories remembered that Ghana had expelled Nigerian migrants in 1969, but the scale this time was unprecedented.
Because of the traffic, the cars are piled up bumper to bumper. During the night, people have generators and all these things, and there's music and...
So people set up music and bars by the side of the road?
Yeah. That, as at that, this Bob Marley, Peter Tosh and movement of Jah people.
It's a human exodus seldom seen on quite such a scale. These are among the last of the estimated 2 million aliens expelled over the past 2 weeks, trying to beat the Nigerian deadline. Most of them are Ghanaians. Here on the border, 60 miles from the Nigerian capital of Lagos, they face another trek across the West African states of Benin and Togo before reaching their homeland. They were encouraged to come here when Nigeria was rich with oil to fill the jobs the Nigerians didn't want or couldn't do. Now they've been kicked out without warning, blamed for everything from Nigeria's soaring unemployment to the high rate of crime. Offered little or no assistance by the Nigerian authorities.
In 1982, when I was in Jos, I was one of the person Nigeria was also pursuing to say go back to Ghana. Yes, they attacked me several times. They captured me even inside the vehicle. If I had known, I would have followed them to Ghana. And why did they say that? They say I look like Ghanaian. They say my structure, my face, everything look like Ghanaian. I black like Ghana, so I must go. I say I'm not Ghanaian, so I'm a Nigerian. Until they took me to my state, Cross River State, to find out with my parents, and that is why they released me. If not, they chase Ghana like if you are chasing animal. Say Ghana must go. I was away. I'm like the way I am now. They pursue Ghana, and that's why you say this Ghana must go. They fold themselves. They fold them to go back. Sometimes when people look down on somebody, God carried you up.
So you see the difference. The Ghana government then, the 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 time, all they did was just to announce and give an ultimatum of 2 weeks that every illegal immigrant who was living in Ghana at a time should do what? Should regularize their stay in Ghana. So meaning get your residence permit and get all the documentations and be legal in living in the country. Whereas the Nigerian one, the president instructed its people and the authorities and gave the illegal immigrants 2 weeks to vacate the country. If not, after that period that has been given, if you don't leave the country, the citizens can do anything to you. So you see the difference. One was like regularize your stay in the country, and they didn't understand, and they started packing their stuffs and just going back to Nigeria. Whereas the Ghana one, the president himself gave that instruction that every illegal immigrant should just leave the country. So these are the two different things that happened. And all the time you hear Nigerians saying, oh, you told us to leave our your country, and we've also done the same thing to you. Like we also did the same thing to you in 1983. It wasn't so. Know the difference. As a Nigerian, know the difference. And it is not even being said by Ghanaians. It is being said by Nigerians that were around at that time.